This is Dr. Vaishali, and I'm reading from the book Substance of Homeopathy, book written by Dr. Rajan Shankaran, and chapter number 34, cation. And this cation is calcium, means calcarea. Calcium was used by the earliest form of life to offer protection in form of a cell, exoskeleton, etc. In human, it occurs primarily in bones, which give us stability and protection of the vital organ like the brain, heart, lungs, and the spinal cord. And the main feeling of calcarea is the need for stability and security. The person feels like an oyster without a shell and seek protection. He strives to get protection from the outside or develop it himself. And anything that threatens his stability and security causes immense fear in the calcarea person. He is especially sensitive to frightful events occurring around him. Thus, he has fear of animal, dogs, physician, especially dentist, and the disease. It is this fear of calcarea that make him mark him out from others. He seeks protections from others and, in an uncompensated state, rely completely on them. This can be especially seen in the calcarea calf, children, and young people who are usually accompanied by their parents to consultations and whenever asked a question, never answer directly but whisper the answer to their parents. Even a cop-up state of the calcarea adult is usually accompanied by some relatives. I have seen them use the expression I am happy when everybody is around me. I have heard this sentence from many calcarea patients, and to me it represents the need to have people around them for protection and security. In a coop-up state, the calcarea person is a home builder. The home represents the protective shell that he needs around him. The person has to cope, especially when he has to face the responsibility of life and does not have protection and security. Whereas if he can avoid it, means he avoid responsibility, then he can remain uncompensated. In India, I see this uncompensated state in women who were constantly protected in childhood by their parents and then by the husband so that they develop no coping mechanism. I have seen girls cozy in the protective environment of their parents' house hesitate and fear of getting married and unable to trust that they will get the same security. They remain unmarried as long as possible till they suddenly realize that their parents are getting too old and would not always be there to protect them. This can also apply to young men much dependent on their parents, means it's called mama's boy, who remain bachelor till late and then try to find a mother substitute for a wife. And calcutta calf children can be very obstinate and even get aggressive. But this is almost always confined to their home and especially with their doting parents. It is as if they are testing the reliability of their protective wall, assuring themselves that their parents will not leave them. However, much trouble means when there is a rubric is there that torment those about him day and night, and this is the rubric. And outside the home they are often extremely timid and fearful, well behaved and extremely sensitive to rudeness and admonition. What I have said so far applied especially to calcarea calf, since this brings out the best picture of calcarea and main feeling of calcarea carbonica is I need security to be alive. One of the important rubric of calcarea carb is the single symptom. Delirium talks of nothing but the murder, fire, and dreads. The delirium represents his fear of human and of a natural and animal dangers. The dream of calcarea carbonica represents such anxieties too. Besides the dreams of animals, snakes, etc., one dream I have seen in calcarea patient is the dream of watching a murder. Such a dream is covered by the rubric delusion murder sees someone's. The other anxiety of calcarea carb is anxiety when watching or hearing about the cruelty of the world. Rubric is horrible things and sad story affect her profoundly. On watching a fight scenes or a horrible scene on the TV, the child goes out of the room or close his eye. So rubric is excitement hearing horrible things after. This childish fear, which is seen in the child, and rubric is fear in child, can be seen in many calcarea carbonica adult too. Physically, the calcarea carbonica person is usually obese but can be thin And the profuse proportion of the calcarea is well-known feature, as are the desire for the eggs, ice cream, sweets, meat, indigestible things like lime, sand, slate, pencil. This can be persist even in the adult age. The pathology of the calcarea patient will usually involve the structure like bone and joints. The main modality I have found are worse ascending uh, steps, breathlessness on or weakness on ascending, pressure of cloth means cannot tolerate the tight clothes, exertion of any kind making them indolent, and dryness and chapped skin in the winter, especially of the feet. Last one is a barium, baryta. Barium is not found in human body. It falls in the group 2A of the periodic table, in which group are also magnesium and calcium. The main theme of group 2A element is the seeking of protection and security. Group 2A elements also have the theme of stunned growth. Stunned growth. A deficiency of calcium and magnesium lead to stunned growth in the children. This can be seen in the rubric Dentition's Law, in which you will find calcarea carbonica, magnesium carbonica, and magnesium muriaticum. The same theme on stunned growth is taken two steps further in Baryta carb, where the factor gives an important indication for this remedy is what children are late in coming into usefulness and taking on responsibility. When we study group 2A, we find the magnesium situation is like that of a nursing who is not yet cut off from the umbilical cord of the mother. While calcarea is fixated and uh, group of much older group of children where they don't depend on parents yet need them for the security and the protection. While in Barataka people, the problem seems to lie in learning their jobs and taking on responsibility and becoming usefulness. At this point, they somehow seem blocked and feels a tremendous sense of incapacity, a feeling of being handicapped, as if they are unable to stand on their own feet. So the rubric is delusional legs are cut off. It seems as if there is a tremendous need to become a much older than they are to take a responsibility in life very, very early. In a failed state, they become imbecile, irresolute, totally dependent, and childish. One can see the bashfulness of the Brada patients with its infantile dependency, naivety, or which with much anxiety, especially brought on by the loss of someone who was supporting him. This is the failed state of the Barata Ka person. Most Barata Ka person I have seen, however, represent quite the opposite in a quite opposite picture. These are people who take on responsibility in life quite early and fulfill them very good, and who support others in a big way. They are concerned and anxious for others. So the rubric is anxiety about domestic affairs. They are homemaker and develop sign of premature senility, hypertension, and early badness. The responsibility along with their conscientious nature can remind us about the aurum metallicum, which lies in the same period of the Baraita. I have found the Baraita people to be very organized. They can reach quite high position in life. Occasionally, however, these people can have bout of the irresolutions and self-doubt, especially when dealing with new and strange circumstances. So the rubric is fear of stranger. Such a person can also become very dependent upon the physicians and on the people around them.